new lights. You like that shit?
Yeah, everything looks good. Your background always looks good, you know. All right, we got with us back here on Grady TV again, the one and only Mini Manson. Now, Minnie has agreed to kind of become a sort of a regular commentator here on Grady TV. That's one of the things we're going to be doing. Everyone on Grady TV the first time will be interviewed about their life, and a few of them, if there's something special about them or they got that flair just to gab, I'll ask them to become a regular commentator. So I'm hoping we're going to try to get an interview out about every 3 or 4 months with Minnie, and we're just going to be going over some current topics with him and get his take on the state of the world and all that. So, Minnie, how you doing?
I'm great.
All right. Well, let's start off right now. Now, you're a musician. Have you heard about this AI music?
No.
They're using artificial intelligence to put out music that sounds like, for instance, I don't know if they've done him yet, but they probably will. They could put out like a whole new song by Marilyn Manson, and it sounds just like him, and it's completely computer generated. It writes the
Yeah, I don't like
song.
that. That's bullshit. Technology is fucked up. They shouldn't be doing that. Real artists only. People want to see them perform. A machine can't go up on a stage and perform. It also can't
Well,
do
it
all
could be
kinds
a
of fucked up
hologram
shit
though.
that will turn you on.
It could be a hologram though, or even
Fuck that
eventually it
shit.
could be an android.
You young whippersnappers with your hoverboards and your holograms. Well, when I was a kid, we only had regular three-dimensional holograms and roller skates with wheels and shit on them. That's the kids of the future. They'll be like saying, you guys with your regular four-dimensional holograms and your hoverboards, look what we got.
Well, think about this though, Minnie. You could use the AI to actually make music for you, so you didn't have to actually do that. Maybe even lyrics, and you could use your real voice on the song.
That is useful when you make the music. But if the singer is singing and they make music in the background, yeah, I could use something like that. Actually, I was just telling somebody. They were asking me all the time. People ask, "Do you write your own music?" Well, I told them no because I really, well, first of all, the copyright issue. People would be stealing it and saying it's theirs and giving me grief. And I don't want to be in court 24 hours a day suing 10 people a day. So, if they're going to copy my work, I'm hoping that they'll give me credit for it at least, or it'll generate interest in me. My thing just ran out there. Yeah, it figures the battery would run out on that when I need it. So anyway, I like to have some music in the background. If I could create a certain sound, I could write and then sing the song to the music. Yes, I need something like that. But that's still
All
so
right.
hard for me to understand.
Well, yeah, it's really hard to understand. A lot of stuff is changing with technology. Like, for instance, have you heard about the sex robots?
Yes,
What do you think about them? Would you
I
would
think
you
it's a good
actually
idea.
engage?
I actually think it's a good idea as long as it doesn't go RoboCop on anyone, because that first 5, 10 minutes of that movie scared the shit out of me with that giant robot that killed everyone and it wouldn't obey the guy when he was trying to command it. So don't make
I
nothing big
bet.
like
I
that.
mean, one of my major concerns is probably a robot could fuck you to death.
It could kill you, yes. But
Probably
other than
rupture
that,
your
I mean, if
uterus.
you can control it, yeah, it could rupture your asshole and your spleen.
Yeah, you
Fortunately,
never
the
know.
two
Like,
spleens. So
it may not even be able to understand that. It might mistaken your cries of pain for moans of ecstasy. That's where the sex robots are bad news, man. It doesn't understand pleasure
robots
from
are
pain.
bullshit in general, but I mean, if it has limited control and it can't grab you or put its legs around you or do not shit like that, as long as you have complete control over it, even when you do the Murphy's Law checklist, what could go wrong? It's the things you can't think of that go wrong that should worry you. Well, we made you this little pill in case you get stranded. You could get stranded, your ship could blow up, or you could be on Mars there. They were talking about mission to Mars, and the scientist had the pill. the cyanide pill. He said, this is for all the reasons we can't think of.
Well,
So,
I'm technology scares me a lot,
me
especially the
too.
Wi-Fi stuff because of the radiation involved and all that.
Yeah, that too, but I just don't like technology. It is useful and I will have to use it because, it's there.
I mean,
But if I had a
like,
choice, I wouldn't use it at all. If I had a choice, I'd rather go back to the 1970s when people hung out on their porch. There was no cameras in every street corner. We didn't have to use the fucking internet. You use your telephone, or you'd write a snail mail letter, or pen pals. That shit is fun, and they've taken that great shit away. Writing a letter by hand. And, George Bush Sr., I used to write him. He used to sit there and write me handwritten letters. Barbara Bush, too. As busy as they are, as elite as these people are, and as busy as they came from a generation where you would sit there and handwrite a letter. George and Barbara Bush writing me, a nobody, fucking letters. I wish I still had that shit. I'd show it to you. All that stuff got gone. It
what'd
got
you do with it?
gone. Well, some of them I sold autographs, and others I lost everything when I became, houseless. So
Uh,
that's where all that stuff went. I didn't have nowhere to store it, so bye-bye.
is
Some
that
of
where
it got
your Archie
destroyed.
comics went?
I put it in boxes and shit and stored it in someone's garage, and it all got wet and moist and destroyed. So I did try to save
Yeah.
some of that shit.
Well,
I could
what
tell
they
you.
say is like they've got studies that show cell phones possibly cause
Hmm?
brain cancer.
Yeah, that's why I use
Um,
the speech function on my phone. I don't put my phone to my ear.
I don't either. I don't either. I use a like a connected wired earpiece. But my thing is, imagine if you put like some steel cock in your ass, and it's probably radioactive too. Like it's probably going to be as radio. It's probably going to
You've
be
thought
connected to
about this much
Wi-Fi.
more than I have.
I'm
That
just
makes
saying,
sense.
man.
So we need
You
people
want?
like you to work for these companies so that you can give them Murphy's Law.
Yeah, I wouldn't go.
Anything
Look,
to go wrong,
you
we
trying to
need
give
people like
people ass
you.
cancer with this product you just developed. They have this thing. I think it's called a butterfly or something like that, and it's like a Wi-Fi vibrator. You put it in your girlfriend's vagina, and she wears it around. And you can have an app on your phone, and you can like make it vibrate anytime you want to.
They're gonna do that. If you could think it here, it's gonna happen here.
No, it's
So
out
yeah,
there, and I'm thinking,
see,
okay, I
whoa.
don't know if I would want Bluetooth technology radiating my pussy all fucking day. You know what I mean? Seems like a
Yeah.
bad news to me. And then these
Well, what
guys
if I
love it.
did
I'm
it?
gonna make this.
Being an entertainer, if I did that, my fans would be radiating or vibrating my pussy all day long, and my asshole
Yeah.
too.
Well, that's the way you could like charge dollar
I
a
charge
minute.
more than that. 20
That's
bucks
60
an
bucks.
hour.
That's 60 bucks. That's $60 an hour, $1 a minute.
Okay, there you go.
And then you only have to deal with it. Like maybe you just get like a couple of days for like 2 minutes a day, your ass just starts vibrating.
Yeah.
There's some pervert watching
It
you.
reminds me of there's this magazine called Taboo Illustrated. Have you ever read that? They draw the cartoons of things that, so it's men doing really impossible things to women. And some of them do have the AI robots, but I thought, I wish I had the time to sit there and change. I would upset the whole cart of apples and I would have men being tortured instead. That would be hot, or more people would buy that magazine if they had men being tied up and have things done to their balls and their dick holes and assholes like they draw the women. Because all that vanilla sex porn doesn't do shit for me, not even in comic book form. Or I should
Yeah, I
draw one
remember.
with the animals raping the guys. I mean, even Larry Flint would get offended by that. I bet you I could offend Larry Flint.
Yeah, I think you told me you like one time you were mad at me, and I think you told me you were going to take like a cane and strip the pig fat off my ass or something like that. That was
No,
like
I don't remember that. I
one of
get
the
mad at
best. That was
everyone
like one of
though.
the best. Nah, I'm pretty. I think I can dig it up.
You're a good guy though.
Anyway,
Don't worry. If I get mad at you, that just means you're close to Marilyn,
that
to
was
Mini
like
Manson.
one of
So
my favorite messages I ever got. I showed it to everybody.
really,
Yeah,
I
I
can't
was like
remember
laughing.
writing that,
I
but
was
okay.
laughing my ass off, man. It's just the way you wrote it. But anyway,
I'm funny like that.
yeah,
But yeah,
I don't really, I don't, I take you seriously, but shit like that, I don't take you seriously.
Anybody that works close with me, eventually they're going to get yelled at, insulted, called pedophile. That just means that you're close to Mini Manson. Take it as like a badge of honor.
Oh, that shit's gonna happen. Oh my god.
Yeah, because I'm a perfectionist. I'm an artist. I'm just Kanye West is like that, and Marilyn Manson, your top artist. Prince was like that. You have to be like that. Otherwise, you don't get your work done the way you want. People will walk all over you. So, ooh. So I'm going to show you my magnet, everyone. $10. My magnets are still fully backed. The whole thing is covered with a magnet. I make these by hand.
Looks nice.
Okay. I make the photograph at Walgreens. Then I go and I laminate it. It's laminated on both sides. And then I attach the magnet. And then I cut it out. You see this? It's all cut. That's hand cuts to it. That's not a die cut machine. Now, if I get famous, the machine will do it. So you want your magnets now while Mini Manson himself cut them. These are going to be worth a lot of money one day. So $10 for that. You can see my cash up there. But I also have PayPal, paypal.me/Mini Manson Talent. I want to unveil my new sticker. You haven't seen this yet. Look at that.
The same photo? I noticed you use that photo for a lot of stuff.
I have 3 photos, actually. Look at what it says on there. Well, first of all, look at what it says on there. Can you see that?
Don't fuck with
entertainers.
They'll kill you.
They'll kill you.
We're on YouTube, so we can't really. I don't know if we can say that. I don't know.
You can say this on YouTube. Okay. And you just can't write it you can't write it like when you respond to people. They call that bullying. They block you for 24 hours. Anyway, I got a 5-inch sticker, which they made 100 of these for free for me. You know why? Because I asked for this size, and they accidentally made them the 4-inch size, which is my regular sticker design. So that's the same exact design. I got about 50 left of each one of them.
Okay.
Small ones are $5. The big one is $10. What I usually do is if somebody orders a big one like this, I'll throw in my sticker collection of 3. I have these 3 stickers. These pictures look alike, yes, but look close at the pictures. You see that?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
the pictures are just a little bit different on each one, but it's from the same photo shoot. So if you buy, I'm offering this. If you buy 3 of these $5 stickers, I'll only charge you $10. So that way you get one of each. You'll get the kill sticker there. That one, the 666 one, which is in the middle, and this one is my original YouTube Mini Manson sticker. I'll send you 3 of these for $10.
All right, cool.
So
yeah,
you can order this and this.
On that.
$20. You would get 4 stickers basically if you ordered this big one with these little ones.
How big is that big one again?
5-inch.
Okay, 5-inch.
It's hard to hold in my hand. I'm sorry here. Trying to line it up with the camera. See the size there? The difference in size?
Yeah.
That's a 4-inch sticker there, this little one here.
Right.
I don't want to make them too small. That's fucked up. And lastly, before we go back to our interview, I have autographs. No, it's the same thing, but yeah, here you go. This is the $20. This is the prize, the $20 shiny autograph. I also will sign that and write whatever you want on it. I'll even put lipstick and kiss it and seal it in there because I seal all my autographs with I laminate it so you can make out with it all you want. If it gets dirty, you can wash it, and all the writing and the lipstick or whatever other bodily fluids you want me to put on there will be sealed in there so they will not get ruined.
All right. There you have it. You got anything else you're selling?
So what I offer people is if they buy an autograph, that's $20, a magnet, which is 10, and either that one big sticker or 2 little stickers, which if they spend $40, I will throw in extra stickers in there. I usually will throw in double amounts of stickers, the regular size ones.
I always like that when you get like some surprise extra goodies.
I do that.
So let's get back into this interview.
Okay, let me blow my nose real quick, and then we will start the
Yeah,
interview.
yeah,
Hold
no
on.
problem. No problem.
Let's see. So you don't see what I'm doing. Oh, okay. Oh shit. My makeup came off.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
slow. Yeah. For some reason, I'll be talking, and all of a sudden, there'll be a black squash right across my face from my makeup smearing. I could never figure out why it does that.
Hmm. Yeah, I haven't even seen you touch your face. So let's see here. So now you're kind of difficult. I don't really understand how you feel about this, right? So I think when I initially met you, you said you were trans, and then I think during the last interview, you said you were more like a woman. You didn't really feel like you were a trans man
Well,
at
actually, I
that
am a
point.
trans man. I just, because so many people tell me I'm not, that's what's causing me to feel it. But I've been thinking about it. In fact, it's weird you mentioned that because I actually am a man. I was born both. So I legally have the right to say I'm a man. If you're born a hermaphrodite, you have the right to be a woman or a man. You can choose. Nature lets you
Mhm.
choose. So you're not a freak when you're a hermaphrodite. You get a special gift from God. That's my take on it.
All right, cool. So you consider yourself a trans man. So
Yes.
how do you right now in the news? There's a lot of talk about this. You know, transgender in this. Like children having transgender surgeries. How?
Excuse
What
me.
is your take on that? I mean, what do you think about that? Do you agree with
I'm
that,
con-
or
I'm conflicted on it. I think that kids should have a say in it, and they should talk with the parents. I don't think the parents should just say, "You do this," and the child shouldn't just say, "I want to do this." There's got to be some talk about it because just the way society is, it sucks. The way nature is. I think kids should have a choice what they want to be, though, but within reason.
so?
Getting surgeries
What
or
would
any
you
weird
think?
shit till they're 18.
Well, see, I think that's what most people think, but I guess there's
And
people
yes, I'm
that are a little.
spitting in my sink and not on my floor. Okay. Anyway, I'm in the
There's like
kitchen.
younger people having surgeries now with their parents' consent and the doctor and all that, and they're not even allowed to like vote or drink or anything like
Vote,
that.
drink, fuck. Yeah, it's hard for me. Like I said, I'm from the old school, so it's hard for my thinking. I want to be progressive and say, yeah, they could do anything they want. I'm more leaning towards that than they can't do it at all. Because if I was given a choice when I was 4, when I ran outside with my brother without my shirt on, I was 4 years old, and we were playing Cowboys and Indians, and a woman came to my mom and said, "Your daughter needs to wear a shirt." That's when I knew I wasn't a girl. I said, no. I might have been born both, and I was raised to be a girl, but my mind says, no, I want to be a boy. Ever since I was 4 years old, when I remember that incident. So I think that if I had a choice, I would have chose, yes, I want to be a boy. I want to be raised a boy. Hormone blockers or whatever I need. Yes.
Do you
Because there's a
think
lot of
that
people in Hollywood who are famous who are transgender, and you never know it. You'd be surprised who's transgender. It's because their parents let them do it when they were young, all throughout the 70s, 80s, 90s, when it wasn't cool. And
I've
actors today
heard?
will never reveal that because it would ruin their careers. People, their fans wouldn't think of them the same way if they said, well, hey, it's okay to be transgender now. After 40 years of hiding, I think I'm going to tell everyone I'm really a girl or I'm really a guy. See, they can't because they have an image. That's why I came out right off the bat and said, this is who I am, so that I wouldn't be trapped by that. So if I make fans, it's going to be more like how people like Lady Gaga, they kind of know that Lady Gaga is not just straight up a straight, male, female. There's different stuff going on down there too. She's talked about it. So thank God for people like Lady Gaga, David Bowie, who make this easier for me. So I want to be honest up front about it so that my fans think of me in the right way from day one. And I would like them to think of me as a male, androgynous, non-binary male, but more on the male spectrum than female. I would appreciate if people could, try to accept this. I'm not trying to change you. I'm not trying to shove things down people's throats. I'm not a Nazi about it. I'm not a Nazi at all. Even though some of my clothing might look that way, the imagery and the clothes are awesome. Fashion is always cool. But yes, so I feel very comfortable today talking about it because I'm getting more comfortable with my body every day. I love who I am. You could tell I love who I am by the way I flaunt my body, the way I dress, the way I have no shame of my body, and you should not have shame. If you're fat, if someone fat shames you, they're just jealous. You know what? If you flaunt that fat belly and you let it all hang out, they can't take nothing away if you love who you are.
Well, I leave my shirt on when I go swimming. But anyway, let's see here. Now that what you were talking about there leads
Yeah,
me to a very interesting question.
yeah.
I'll wait till you come
I
back
got my
here.
new ring. I want to show you my new ring. My other one broke a while back.
Oh, looks nice. That's what you were
It's,
talking
it's,
about there.
it's
the,
backwards. Put
the
that shit there.
symbolism or whatever.
That's Marilyn Manson. He took that symbol off the toaster. That's a symbol that's on a toaster where the warning is, and he
Oh
copied.
yeah.
Well, not copyright. He trademarked. He trademarked the symbol. He got the idea from Gene Simmons, and Gene Simmons told Ace Frehley, you need, because he had this guitar strip with a lightning bolt going down it. And Gene Simmons says, you need to copyright or trademark that. And he says, no, I don't need to. So he wasn't like, didn't have the same mindset as Gene Simmons. So, Gene Simmons, $400 million, Ace Frehley, 1 million. So you understand now who's got more money
Yeah.
and who's better at promoting. So I'm learning from Gene Simmons a hell of a lot, and from Ace Frehley too. I love Ace Frehley.
Do you watch
I seen him
that?
in
Do you
concert
watch
once.
that reality show of his?
No, I don't have cable, so I don't see any reality shows.
Okay, let me ask you because you were just talking. Um, you are 5'6", right?
5, 4.5.
5'4.5". So you call yourself Mini Manson, and there's these bands like Mini Kiss and Mini Britney Spears, and they're all dwarfs.
And I was
It's
thinking
very
about that. I'm
hard.
like, well, I'm still smaller than Marilyn Manson. He's a fucking giant. He's 6'1". So compared to him, I am mini, but I am not actually a little person. I'm of average height,
But what I'm
and
saying is, do you consider yourself though, just like Eminem is a guest in the House of Hip Hop as a white person? Do you consider yourself being in the dwarf entertainment industry? Because I would
no,
imagine you would
no.
play the same places as like a Mini Kiss if you're going to do a Mini Manson act. You know what I mean? Like,
I cover everybody though, so I can't exactly say I'm Mini Manson like the actual Mini Manson. There was a Mini Manson that existed. Did
well, yeah, you're
look
just
that up?
using. I mean, he's using Charles Manson's name, and you're using. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's not even his last name. He took it from somewhere else. So if you
And
want
the
to use
singer from
it, why not?
Garbage, her last name is Manson. Garbage. When my mom would get mad, she'd say
Okay.
garbage.
What's your name, like
That was so
Shirley
fun.
Manson or something like that?
What was that?
What's her name? Shirley Manson?
That was her name. Is her name? Yes. The
You
world
have a
is
problem
mine
if they ask
now.
you to go on a if they ask you to go on a celebrity dwarf package tour, would you accept that? Or do you think that people would
Yeah, I would.
criticize you for like
I
clout
would, but
chasing
the little people
cartoons?
might get mad at me for being tall. That might cause some dissension in the ranks. But yeah, I would do that if they asked me to go on TV for any reason. As long as they respect and take care of the fact that I have diabetes, I have certain needs and health issues, and I have to take insulin every night. As long as they have no problem with that and they can accommodate,
But what if the
my
Little
actual
People
needs.
Association were
I
like,
have no problem
hey, that's
going
not
on
even a
tour
little
or doing
person.
anything. Go
Maybe
ahead.
maybe there's another little person. That guy's dead though, but maybe there's another one that's a little person, Mini Manson, or a
Well, maybe.
little person, Marilyn Manson. You know what I
Well,
mean?
here's
And
an idea.
they'll be like
A
Mini
smaller
Manson's taking his
person.
spot.
I'm trying to say something. A smaller person that's smaller than me, that is a little person, that could call themselves Mini Manson and be like, I could be their role model, and they can like emulate me.
Well, the other guy, wasn't there another Mini Manson at one point? Like he's
Yes,
dead though,
I
or
told you
he
to look
passed
him up.
away.
Yeah, look him up. He died. I didn't kill him. I promise you. I didn't know he existed before I chose the name Mini Manson.
Or do you
I've only
have
been
the
doing this for
name?
2 years.
Have you tried to trademark the name or anything?
Nah, um, because you never know. Later on, if say a record producer should sign me, they might say, "Hey, well, we want you to have your own image now." So I would trademark that because I don't feel like Mini Manson is original enough to trademark.
Well, what if you get really big and you're very successful,
If I
and
get really
the
big and the
other
record producers say yes, keep the name, yes, then it will be trademarked. You bet. You bet your bippy.
well, no, let's say you're not even, you're about to break, right? You're right there, and the original Minnie Manson's widow comes out of nowhere, and she's like, I have the trademark. We had a trademark back in the '80s or whenever, probably the '90s or something."
We buy
And
her out.
they
We
literally
can do one or two
shakes you
things.
down. She shakes you down for like millions, wasn't that name? So you have to change your name. But you just spent years building this fucking up, man, as Mini Manson.
Well, in that case, we negotiate with her because everybody has their price too. If she doesn't have her price, well, she might want to be careful. You don't fuck with entertainers. Hence my sticker.
You owe
But
me $1 million. I'm imagining she's probably a little person too.
well, I hope she's a sensible person for her sake and her sanity.
You know what I'm saying? You can't.
Especially if she has
If she
kids.
is a little person, you can't, and you're not a little person. You can't really say anything mean to her or anything like that.
As a person, I could. I wouldn't be mean. I would just be professional. Being mean doesn't get you nowhere. Using the right command words and threatening to sue people and actually carrying it out, that's the kind of shit that talks. Calling people names ain't going to get you nowhere.
Yeah, basically, it comes down to this: both Minnie Manson and me love little people so much. We want to take their jobs.
Well, no,
I'm
I
gonna
don't want to do
be.
that either. No, don't be mean to small people. That's
I'm
no.
not. It's just a joke. But yeah,
Okay.
some of them don't have a very much of a sense of humor.
That's true. I ran into a small
Some of
person
them are
the other
really
day and
funny,
offered her
man.
one.
They don't care.
I
Some
offered
of
her
them
one
are
of my
funny.
stickers, and she was pretty nasty to me about it. I'm like, you could just say no.
Oh, you've actually had little people confront you about the name already?
No, no. I was walking down the street and I gave it. I was trying to give a sticker to a little person, a woman, and she was really nasty to me about it. So you could have just said no, no thanks.
Oh yeah,
She, she looked
I
like she
guess
was boss though. She might have been under some stress at the time. So you never know what's in a person's mind.
right.
But little
Now,
people are
have
human
you
beings.
heard?
They are just like a regular person, a 6 foot tall person. They're still human beings, and they should be treated right.
Oh, for
Now, if
sure. I
they
mean,
go out
I'm
and they
not.
want to make fools out of themselves and get paid for it, that's different. But outside of that, in their regular life, they should be treated with the same respect anyone does. That's
No,
a
I mean,
person.
I think it's crazy that it's even like people think it's weird. I mean,
People
yeah, I
call
mean,
them
they're
midgets and
smaller or
shit.
whatever, but
That's not good. What was
they're
that?
just like, I mean, yeah, they're smaller, but they're short and tall people. You know what I mean? Like,
And they're very
there's short people,
talented and
tall
smart people,
people,
just
and
like
there's
just talented and smart, just like the rest of us. Look
oh,
at Kenny Baker from Star Wars. I mean, look how awesome he is. And but my favorite person, Paul
right.
Williams, he's actually considered kind of a well, he's actually around my height, but
Glenn
people think
Danzig.
he's little. I'm thinking, what?
I'm just naming off little people that rock. Prince,
Who did you?
Prince, and Glenn Danzig.
He's a little person.
I think they're both
Cool.
like 5 feet tall. Or no, what do you? What I think you have to be 4'9" or something like that to
I like
qualify.
Warwick Davis. He's one of my very favorites too. I love him. So
Yeah, yeah. I think,
Those
yeah,
guys are fucking millionaires. Well, Kenny Baker's dead, but the
I
other
love
guy.
short women or whatever. Like, uh,
It's what you
it's
do
all
with your
good.
life, you know. I
We
bet a
just
lot of
joking
them wish they
around
were
over
regular
here.
size, but you know what? They overcame it. They even got to be in movies. People think they're gods, you know. They're 10 feet tall. They have fans who look at them like they're 10 feet tall, you know, because of the work they've done.
I'd rather be a
I
little
don't have
person
that.
than 8 feet
Sometimes
tall or
being
something.
average is a curse. Okay, what was that?
I'd rather be a little person than 8 feet tall.
I didn't know you were 8 feet tall.
No, I'm
Asshole.
glad I'm not. But let me ask
How
you.
tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
Whoa, you're a big boy.
Yeah, I'm a big boy.
Bend
um, what
over.
do you think? Let's get back on this interview here. I got some questions waiting for you here.
Oh, yes.
What do you think UAPs are? Are you familiar with UAPs?
UAP? No, what is that?
Yeah, it stands for unidentified aerial phenomenons. And
Oh, like a UFO.
it's basically the new word for the UFO the government's using. They don't use UFOs anymore. And the Pentagon has released some footage of some crafts doing stuff that we don't have the capability of doing, you
Well,
know.
yeah, it's going to look like a UFO because it's technology that the general public hasn't seen yet. The government has more the privilege that way because of money
Yeah, but
too,
this
but
is
they have the privilege of knowing what they have the technology that will exist for the general public. 30 years from now, we'll have that technology that the government has now. So everything's going to look like a UFO coming out of the government.
oh yeah, they had cell phones back in the 1950s and stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah, they used them during World War II.
But were they the big brick ones? Brick phone. Hey,
They
everyone,
were
look up
like
brick
they
phone.
were handheld devices, but they kind of look like
A brick
maybe like a shoebox or something, or
for a
maybe a brick
bird.
is better.
Look up,
Yeah.
look up. Okay, here, this is something that's really interesting for you and everyone. Look up brick phone, BRIKK.com. Those are phones that are like $300,000 with diamonds and 24 karat gold shit on them, and you get your own concierge. A lot of celebrities have that. Don't ask how I know about it, because well, actually, you can ask.
How do you know about it?
I used to work in a hotel downtown in San Augustine, Florida, called the Casa Monica, up there on Cordova and King Street. And all the famous people go there, you know, every year. They have World Golf Village, which is close by. So people, celebrities who like golf, like Snoop Dogg and who's the actor from Greece? What is the guy's name from Greece? The main character.
John
What is his
Travolta.
name? John Travolta goes there every year. My boss was witness. She was in love with him. She says, "If you see him, please bring him down here." But I got fired during that week during the Super Bowl because I got real sick and they wouldn't let me work that week. And then they were like, "Go home, don't come back." I was on my deathbed. I got sick a lot here and there through my life. Lost a lot of opportunities because of it. But yeah, I met a lot of celebrities in that hotel here and there, and it was great. I'd give them free bathrobes and extra stuff. I took care of my guests, real good care.
So
Oh,
getting back on the UFOs, the
oh yeah.
UAPs, um, the thing about these crafts, like I guess back in the '90s, people were seeing what is now we call drones. You know what I mean?
Uh
And
huh.
people are like, well, these things were just like basically like new type, like in the '90s when people were seeing stuff and it turned out to be drones. This is
Yep.
just like the next wave of that, right? But these
Yes.
crafts are doing
They
maneuvers.
used to think those were UFOs.
These are anti-gravity. They have no heat signature. They hover in air, motionless. Basically,
The air
I heard a
control.
scientist say that the like jumping jumping to this kind of technology would be like inventing a car before you invented the wheel. I mean, you know what I mean? So they wonder, like, it's so far beyond our capabilities that, and the government themselves has said they don't know who it is. And I would think if it was our governments, they wouldn't put those videos out. They're concerned about them being in our airspace. It could be a foreign a foreign country.
Yes.
But you're sticking with the idea that it is just new technology from
Yes. It's not
who do you,
extraterrestrial. It's unidentified flying object, which is that it's unidentified and it's flying and it's an object. It's not extraterrestrial green alien shit. So I'm sure that stuff aliens do
but I mean
exist.
China
We actually have more than one, just more than one, like what you call galaxy in the solar system. In our, the sun is in the middle, and they have all those branches of the solar system. Well, they showed photographs of that, and I did work at the planetarium, so I keep up with this stuff. There's actually other like universes within our particular solar system, and there's actually many other solar systems outside of our own. They showed pictures of that. It's amazing what's out there. I mean, it's more
right.
amazing than these fidget spinners I got from Tony. Thanks, Tony. Look at these. He made me black ones. Look,
Yes, thank you, Tony.
Tony, fun stuff only. This one does that.
Oh, lights up.
This one does too, but you have to press these. You gotta press them kind of fucking hard. So go ahead.
But Minnie,
You can stop while I'm showing the
let me tell you
fidgets.
though, while you're doing that here,
Yeah.
what these flying machines are acting as submarine and airplanes. So basically, they have them on video flying in the air and then going underwater, and they
Uh-huh.
have water radar and they have air radar. And these things are making so it's basically an airplane and a submarine that can hover and uses anti-gravity to fly instead of a motor.
An airplane and a submarine.
Yeah.
How can it be up in the space and in the water at the same fucking time?
Because what it does is it pushes against gravity. It uses gravity to stay
Well, it's
afloat.
either up in the air at one time or it's in
Anti-gravity.
the water at one time. It can't like be both, because then it'd have to
I
be
don't know.
like
I'm
two
not
of
sure
them.
that these things are because China just got busted flying a hot air balloon spying on it
China
over
got
the.
busted.
Yeah, you remember that? Like a couple of months
Yeah,
ago, they got busted. It
you're
was a fucking
busted,
hot
China.
air
I love
balloon.
Chinese people, so just so you know, I just don't like the politics.
I like Chinese people too, but I'm just
Yeah, I
saying.
love them. Ni hao
Uh,
ma.
I like Japanese too.
Yeah, konnichiwa. I
Yeah.
love all Asian people. Okay, okay. Well, these are $30 each if anyone wants to buy one. I only have like 2 extra ones of each one. So
All right.
sorry, I shilled my video during your interview. Is this interview over now? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Um.
Someone taught me you have to shill
But
during
even
interviews. Go
so,
ahead.
so even when considering that China just got busted spying on us with a hot air balloon,
Uh-huh.
you still think that they could be creating these submarine airplanes or?
Probably. I mean, they have all kinds of money and shit to do it. If you don't care about how much something costs, and think about it, you can create shit without money. It's just we've created money to be something that we need to trade. But if you got a brain and you're intelligent, you can create anything you want. And if you have the money to back it up, it does help because people require money for services. But really, think about how brilliant
Have
people
you
think and how generic everything looks around you. Look, walk down the street and you see how fucking nasty and generic everything looks. That is not even close to being to showing and reflecting the brilliance the human brain has. I mean, look at the Disney Imagineers and look at the artwork people write. You ever go on your like Instagram and see the beautiful like gothic and fairy like houses they make? That's the human brain could create that, but because we have to live in reality with having to pay for everything, we're not going to live in tree houses and beautiful, magical fucking Disneyland wonderlands. We're going to be living in a nasty, normal square and rectangular houses and things. So yeah, they can create anything. China, America, Russia, they got some pretty cool things that the CIA uses. Like all in the James Bond movies, they always have the little pen with the gas in it, and all the little trinkets that do things. Such as like things like this here, like a knife and a pen. So don't
yeah,
fuck with this person.
you need a mini
It's a
Manson one.
fucking.
You need a
Yeah, let
mini
me put that
Manson.
away. Okay. So
So
yeah,
have you seen a UFO?
I seen something in the sky in Florida one time, and it had lights under it. I was laying on the porch at night. It was like 9:30 at night, Florida time, which is Eastern time, and I saw like these lights, but it had to have been a man-made thing, obviously. Maybe someone was just messing around with a nighttime drone with lights on it. So it didn't phase me or anything. I was just like, oh my god, that's so cool.
Do you not
And
believe that there's any life on other planets at all, or?
I do believe that. I told you there's other universes out there. I was talking about
Well,
that.
but yeah, you just don't think there's any way they could be coming here.
I don't know. It could happen. There's no evidence that they're here now. I mean,
What about Bigfoot?
yeah, I don't think that's real.
Yeah, that's probably not real.
And then Loch Ness Monster's not real either. Aleister Crowley made that up.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. He
I
bought
wasn't
that
aware of that.
Eskine Manor or whatever shit over there, and it was like that pond or whatever, and he made that up. He made up a lot of stuff that people don't know about. Like Madonna sang Into the Groove. That's actually from his autobiography. He said he says, we must get into the groove. That's actually how he started off one of his chapters in his autobiography. And that's like from the 40s. Madonna read that. She says, into the groove, huh? So get into the groove. That's where that came from, people. You know how many of her fans don't know that? 99% at least.
Hmm.
Stuff
Yeah, I don't know. Did you know
comes
that the
together.
panda used to be considered a mythical creature,
Well,
and
obviously,
finally
there's proof of that, so it no longer
well, yeah, they
is.
finally found one, but people would say that was like
They only
bullshit.
found one. I thought there was more than that.
They got some. They breed them in captivity. They're very
No,
hard. I think they're hard to find out in the wild. There's like not a lot of them. So it makes me think that it's possible there could be a Bigfoot creature out there somewhere. That's because they have the. Are you aware of like over in the Amazon rainforest? There's people that have never been contacted by the
Yes,
outside world, and that they've developed into orange people.
cool.
Their skin
Yeah, there's
color is weird
societies
as
out
hell.
there. Thankfully untouched by Christian missionaries who fucked shit up. You saw that episode of South Park where the missionaries went to the Marklars. You Marklars can stay, but you Marklars have to leave. Yeah, thankfully there's still some pure people out there that aren't fucked up by others.
Let me ask you:
Tainted
you're a YouTuber, and do you watch any other YouTubers? Are you a fan of anybody at all?
Yeah, I watch other people. There are some people I like. I'm thinking of you ever hear of Rachel and June, June's Kitchen, Rachel and June's Adventures? It's this American girl who married a Japanese guy, and he's got a channel where he does a lot of cooking and stuff. They have cats, and people from all over the world start with
I
dips
think
and
I've
shit.
actually seen them. Yeah.
Those guys are so cool. They did an episode about a Japanese moving company when they showed how the Japanese people came in there and itemized everything. You put it in the wrappy thing and put it neatly in a box and wrapped it. I mean, shit, to have that kind of service in the USA, you'd be paying $5,000 just to move across the street using that service. They got some
Hmm.
services in Japan that just will blow you away.
I was watching that streamer Ice Poseidon recently, and he went to Japan for like
You
three or
did?
4 months. Or
I
yeah,
never watched Ice Poseidon. I hear about him though.
it was pretty good. They're in India right now. He's climbing
Cool.
Mount Everest. He's not actually
Oh, that's
climbing
fucking
it, but
cool.
he has to go to the base of Mount Everest, which is like a hike. They've been hiking for like 7 days just to get to the base,
I never
and it's
checked him
kind of
out because people say IP2 and they're like, that's a bad thing. And I'm busy as it is, but I never checked it out because they talk about it on Elisa Cap and all that, and I'm like, just another community of people that might troll. But if he's a legitimate guy, and he's serious what he does, I hope he would become my fan one day. Because I've never had nothing bad to say about him. I kind of really don't. I'm not familiar with him. I'm sorry about that, Poseidon. But
you
people,
should check out some of his Japanese stream because it was pretty interesting. He's having a hard
okay,
time keeping a Wi-Fi connection over in India, so the
yeah,
connection is real shitty and stuff. But in Japan, it was perfect. But you might enjoy that, I think.
yeah. I love when people visit foreign countries and such.
Anybody else?
Um, just heard from a few friends. I'm thinking about Relentless, and she's just a nice person I know. I'm trying to think of somebody that, Colonel Kurtz. She had me on her show a few times, so I follow her.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I like Colonel Kurtz a lot. She's one of my favorites.
I call her Colonel Clink. I said it to her face too, so she won't be mad.
Yeah.
She knows I'm a difficult kind of person, but she wrote a real nice text to me in private one time and said, I'm a great entertainer. She says, you're crazy, but you're an excellent entertainer. You're an excellent performer. I really appreciate that she said that about me.
Oh,
You know,
her stuff on Marilyn Manson has just been so spot on, right?
yeah, she's really good with the really boring, long, like legal talk stuff, and I'm good with the entertaining and miming. So we're together, we help each other. I hope she'll have me on her show again. I got mad the last time because the audio was fucked up again. I thought that was messing with me because some other people used to do that. Trying to see,
Right.
I follow Marilyn
You
Manson, of
got
course. I
PTSD from
follow
your
Marilyn
original.
Manson. I follow Marilyn Manson on YouTube.
Oh,
He
cool.
doesn't he doesn't post too much in there though. That might be his. I don't know if he actually controls it or someone else does, but
Right.
let's
I
see.
doubt if he controls it.
I
It's
follow
probably the
Sammy
record
Davis
label.
Jr. It's his estate website, but I follow Sammy Davis Jr. because he's one of
Did
my
you know that he
idols.
was involved in the Church of Satan?
Yes, I
If
got
you
a
look
picture
at
of
some
him.
old,
I have a picture of him with Michael Aquino and Anton LaVey, and yes, I like both of those guys equally. I have a lot
if
of
you look
people
at,
who tell me I'm not a Satanist, I'm a bad person. Oh, you like Michael Aquino? Then you're a bad person because Anton hated him. Well, he didn't always hate him. So
I didn't
let's
think, I
just
thought they
say
were
I like them
friends.
both equally for my own
Wasn't he
reasons.
like,
What's that?
wasn't he like a high up in the Church of Satan? I mean,
Yes, he was like
I don't think the guy
almost
hated
equal
him.
to Anton, I believe. He was a colonel in the U.S. military, and when I found out that you could legally be a Satanist in a military, that opened my possibilities in life, my opportunities. I never knew. I thought you had to be a Christian to be in the U.S. military. That's how I was raised to believe that. I thought up until I was about 22 years old, I thought everybody was a Christian. Everyone was the same, whether they were black, white, Chinese, Arab. I thought everyone was the same. Good thing I went to college because then I started getting an education on all the different peoples of the world and religions and educations and all. And then I dropped out of society for a few years, almost 2 decades. And as time went on, I traveled and I met people and learned foreign languages. And I realized, wow, there's all this different stuff here. And then I learned about the Islams. That's what I called them. My friend was laughing. We fell on the ground because I said, do you guys get along with the Islams? Him being Catholic. I never seen him laugh so hard. I meant to say Muslims. So, I even experimented with Islam for 6 months, went to the masjid, everything, went in the masala to pray every Friday, Jumu'ah. Assalamu alaikum. So, I know
Yeah,
a
I
little
got a few
Arabic.
books. I got a
I'm
few of those
proud of that
Mind
6 months. What was that?
I got a few of those Mind War books from Aquino.
How cool are they? Really good?
Yeah, they're very interesting. He's talking
Are they hard
about
to
man.
understand? They're not hard
Huh?
to understand and scholarly, are they? Like really scholarly talk?
It's like it's. I mean, it's straight up like reading anything Aquino has written.
It's probably real scholarly, low. Like Anton LaVey was easy to read, but
I mean, he's a very smart guy. You know, what I mean,
yeah,
even if he is a bad guy, you gotta know
I
that
don't think
this
he's a
guy
bad guy. I don't
super
think he's a bad.
intelligent.
I don't think Michael Aquino's a bad guy.
He got a bad rap from
Yeah, but I don't think
thing
he's
that
a bad
happened.
guy. Anyone in power like that
He
is gonna
didn't
get a
get
bad rap.
arrested. He didn't get arrested or anything. So it's just like rumors. You know what I mean?
I know
So
about all that stuff. I don't think he's a bad guy, and I have a former fan who hates my guts because I admire this guy so much. I admire him for his
what is
ability with
he? Well, I forget his
the
rank. He's like a
psychological
lieutenant.
stuff. I
He's a
admire him
lieutenant
because of the
colonel, right?
psychological stuff.
Was he a lieutenant colonel? Is that what he is?
No, he was a full bird colonel.
I mean, he's like a very high-ranking dude, man. And if he was a scumbag, he would not be
That's right.
there. I mean, they do. I mean, you want to talk about a background check and a half? They put
Yeah.
in on those guys. I'll wait till you get back.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah, we'll keep talking when you get the video back on.
Okay. I'm
I don't want to
sorry. I
put a
just
clip
had to
out
do
with this,
something
you
that
know.
I had to do something that I didn't want your visitors to see here.
That's cool.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that's not so professional. Someone told me once because I walked away from the camera, you're not professional. So, well, the show wasn't professional. It wasn't a real news show. I'll piss my
Yeah,
pants if it's a real news show.
yeah, I understand. Um,
I'll piss my pants on
yeah, have
there if
you ever
someone
seen?
donates $20.
You said earlier Anton LaVey, they say hated Aquino, but I think
Well,
Anton
later
LaVey
on he
really
did.
didn't really like much of anybody before he died because did you ever see that documentary with LaVey where he had built like a bar with like mannequins in there and he would go in there and hang out with these like mannequins all fucking day?
I didn't see the video, but I read about it.
I'll send you the link. There's a documentary that he
Okay.
did right before he died. He let him come in his house, and it was actually a very sad, lonely existence he had.
He was
And
very lonely in the end days, yes.
he was
And I
very
wish I would have known
into,
about him. I would have went to see him. He would have liked
yeah,
me.
but he didn't like nobody. He was lonely
He
by
would have liked
choice.
me
He couldn't stand anybody.
because I
He
was
saw
younger too and
Marilyn Manson
receptive
during that
to his
period.
message. I think he would have liked that. He didn't like a lot of people because they weren't receptive to him anymore. They kind of thought he was a has-been and an old timer, like you're a dinosaur. That guy was. They don't make guys like that today. Everything I know about that guy, his personality, his being
Do
a
you like
lion
Xena?
tamer, a police photographer, also being a the Calliope. He played this instrument called a Calliope. He was a born showman,
Yeah, I have an album
and
by him.
the man's a brilliant genius. And I wish to fucking God that when I was in college or even high school, that I would have known about him. I would have wrote to him. I would have even gotten a bus and went to see him. It might have got me away from my family decades sooner. I could have went and started practicing more to be an entertainer and actually tried to sing in front of people and do things before the internet. I think about this stuff all the time. In fact, almost every night I go to bed thinking about it. I wake up thinking about it. I'm like, I'm ashamed of myself for wasting 20 years of my life between 2002 and just about up to 2016, 17. I started seeing the light around 2017, and as I moved into this apartment, I found that I was able to make noise and perform without getting in trouble. So I'm really blessed right now. The last 2 years of my life have been super cool. It's like I'm in super drive. I forgot what Janis Joplin said. I would rather have 10 years of super hyper fame than live to be 70 sitting in a fucking rocking chair. Well, I feel the same way. Janis Joplin is one of my very closest heroes.
Yeah, I
She
like
taught me how to
Janet.
have passion in my music.
What do you do? Do you like Xena LaVey?
I don't know a lot about her, but I guess she's
Well,
okay.
actually, let me clarify. 'Cause she doesn't like being called that, and that was a mistake. I'll probably edit that
Oh,
out. But Xena, you know who I'm talking about. I think she just goes by Xena now.
okay. Well, I don't know much about her, but I'm sure she's okay.
See, I used to watch her growing up. She's kind of like my age, you know.
Well, didn't you grow up in California there?
No, I grew up in the Midwest.
Oh, well, I guess you saw
No,
on TV.
in
So I
fact,
didn't,
I grew up.
like I
I
told
grew
you.
up. I
Go
partied
ahead.
in Chicago in high school every weekend. I would go to punk because I was in some small town, and I would drive to Chicago to go see these punk shows every
You,
weekend.
you came here?
Yeah,
Fucking cool.
and
See,
I lived in
probably went to
Chicago
wax
for.
tracks and shit like that.
Mhm.
Anyway, like I told you, I was
I
in
actually
high
worked for the
school and
Jerry
college.
Springer show.
What was that?
I actually worked for the Jerry Springer show as a
You
freelance
did? Do you want
camera
me to
guy.
answer your question though, or do you just want
That
to
was in
move
the
on?
'90s. Do you know the NBC Universal building?
I went to a show once. It was boring and it was hot in there. But
Oh, you went to a show?
yeah, you asked me something and now I don't remember what it was because you wouldn't let me
Oh,
talk. So,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was just trying to finish my.
but that's cool what you told me. I want to know about that too. I want that to be on here so that I can watch this later and I can
We were
hear it and
talking
say, "Oh yeah,
about. We were
that's
talking
right."
about. We were talking about how I would go to Chicago and stuff like that, and go to
And
punk
I asked
shows.
if you lived in California, and I'm like,
And I
"You're
went to the
lucky." I
Midwest.
don't, well, who got you interested in knowing about the Satanism stuff? Did you just catch on to it naturally?
Actually, my uncle had the Satanic Bible. and
Lucky, you know.
also
The only Bible
also,
I knew about was the King James version, and that's the only book I was really allowed to read growing up. I did not have the freedom that everyone
I
else had.
read I read the Satanic Bible when I was like 9 years old.
Did you understand it
Yeah,
at 9?
pretty much. Yeah, yeah, and I also
Well,
read the
I didn't. I
Satanic
still don't
Witch.
understand most of it.
Have you ever read
What
the
was that?
Satanic Witch?
Yeah, I read that.
I like that one.
Hold on. Yeah. This is a visual interview, so I have to touch my makeup on my
That's
lipstick.
fine.
It goes.
Everything's chill here, man, because we can just
Yeah.
like edit stuff
So
out
what?
and all that.
Okay, what were you saying then? You asked me something, and I was over there.
Oh, we
You
were
said something
talking
really.
about we
You
had
said
just
something
talked
really
about
interesting. What was that?
we were talking about the Satanic Witch, and I read the
Yes,
Satanic
I read
Bible when
that
I was
book. That book
nine.
helped me a lot. It was written for women, how to be used to feminine ways, which I think is great advice. If I was female, I'd use all that shit. But instead, I use that information, but I use what I have, what I look like, who I am. I use the information my way. But it was very, very useful book for me.
It's useful to men as well.
Yes,
So that you
that's
that
what I
you can
said. That's why
understand
I said it was good for
the
me.
witch, the Satanic Witch. You know what I mean?
Like
Trying to charm
instead
you.
of the woman showing like a little opening a button and letting a little peek out on purpose because it's forbidden, I just opened my button and I let my 666 show
Oh yeah.
and my fat belly hanging out. That's forbidden. So that's
Oh
what
yeah, I
Anton
could
LaVey
agree.
taught me how to use what I have. He taught me how to be sexy and energetic. He taught me how to be charismatic, to use everything that people said was bad about me. All for 40 years, I thought I was a loser because I was too short. I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't this. I wasn't that. But I take what I was given, and Anton LaVey taught me how to. What's that word he says to overuse it or over exemplify? I don't know the right word to make it bigger. Can you give me a word? I am not good with words, honestly.
Over
That's
exaggerate.
another reason why I don't write my own songs. But what was that?
Over exaggerate.
Yes, thank you. It's just over exaggerate. If you have a big nose, make it look bigger. You got crooked teeth. Use that. Utilize it. Make it a thing that, as long as you love who you are and you really feel it, nobody can hurt you. They can't say you're a fat fuck, you buck-toothed motherfucker. If you love who you are, no amount of insults can take you down.
Let me ask you, Minnie. Have you thought about putting out a record? You got
Sure,
these
all the
stickers.
time.
You got these stickers and stuff. Can you imagine if you had actual like vinyl or cassettes or something like
I wish
that?
to fucking God that I could get 12, 13 songs on an album because that's how much you need to make an album. I wish I had a record producer. I've said this time and time again. I'm willing to work with a record producer. A lot of independent artists in this day and age won't. They don't want to. They think they'll lose all their
Yeah.
creativity. No, let me talk, please. This is important. I have
Right.
enough creativity where I can write. I could write 10 songs a day. I could have an album in a day. But the thing is, I need the protection of the record producer, their lawyers. We can negotiate the contract. I write so many songs. Let me keep the rights to a few of them. You can have some of the other ones. So I'm a very flexible person. I'm not that hard to work with like people think I am. And I'm a hard worker. You think I'm difficult? Look how difficult Prince and other people were. No, I am not a difficult person to work with. Like I said, just meet my medical needs. Remind me to take my shot. Have some people take care of me, and I'll do whatever you want. I want to sign a record deal. I want to do an album. That I will be the lead singer. I will write. I can also get with other people, and we can write together. Just give me three songs out of the 12 songs I do. Let me have copyright to those. Let me get the residuals and ancillaries off of that. And yes, I know what that shit is. I was a paralegal, so I know a little bit about copyright and entertainment law. I learned all that stuff because I knew one day I would need it. But let me have a little rights to some stuff, and I don't mind giving you 9 songs. I'll write for you, and we'll make money together. It's a business called the music business for a reason. I come there, work for you, you hire me, we work together, we make money. Make me happy, I make you happy, everybody's happy. Their bills are paid, and I get a house in the Hollywood Hills. So, Capitol
Well,
Records, I hope
Minnie,
you're listening.
Minnie, I'm thinking about starting a label called
Yeah,
Double G Records,
that's hot.
and
Careful, I'll get on you.
well, let me ask you: Do you think you
Record
could
producers turn me on. Go ahead.
get a band together in Chicago
That,
area? I mean, there's so many
I wish.
musicians that would.
I wish. Like I said, if there was a band we could throw together and write some songs and
Well,
get
I
signed by a
happen.
record label, that would be. If the record label had people, so they usually have people they already know. But I know a guy in
I
California. I do know a bass player I like. He's called Jockey, and he's known as Corn Dogs. You probably know him. But I would want him to be my bass player if I had a choice to hire someone. But he's in
Where's he
Los
at?
Angeles. I'm in Chicago. I've
No,
tried
no,
to
no.
find people in Chicago to work with. I don't have money to pay them, and I don't know enough about
No, no, you don't
actual
pay him.
starting a band to pay someone. They're gonna want to really. I don't have to work, but a lot of these people do it. Like they're really gonna want to come and have the discipline and show up not all coked up and fucked up to perform and for practice for free. In this day and age, it's really hard to find people like that.
Look, Minnie, hear me out. Okay,
Okay, I'm listening. Go
I want
ahead.
to talk to you. You know, I'm interested in you for Double G Records,
Oh, I
and
like that.
I am fairly positive I could get you two 12-hour sessions with a multi-platinum producer who is in Chicago.
Oh,
And yeah, it'll cost some money, but I'm willing to put that up if you can assemble a band and get 10 songs together. And the other thing is you're going to have to go in and bust these out in 2 days.
in the recording studio.
Yes.
I hope I don't
Real,
get
I
too
mean,
much
I'm talking.
jam and
There's no.
syrup all over the
This is
keyboard or
one of
all over the
the. This,
mixer.
this is one of the biggest producers there is. There really is. You would shit your pants if I. I don't want to tell you right now because we're recording this, but we'll talk in
I made
private.
someone sit their pants in a show about a month ago because she made me annoyed. So yeah, I have skills in that too. But yeah,
Well, I want you to
I might do
focus
other
because
things in my pants. I might not shit in them, but I might do other things in there.
we can't pay the band. Okay, they're going to have to come in with the agreement that you guys are going to make 10 songs and they're going to get to record with this very big name,
Yeah.
and that's going to be what they get out of it because they're going to be able to say, hey, I'm in this record produced by this guy that's and they don't even have to stay with you, but if you did some shows or something like that, you actually got the
Is
record
this
came out,
something
you
where
could
I
do some
would get
shows.
signed? I would get signed by a label eventually, and I would actually make money. And I
It's a
know they'll
step
make money, but
there. It's a step there because, well, you will make money because what I'll do is,
I don't want to live in poverty the rest of my life. I have to. I'm scared every day because I have to depend on the government. I have what you call a voucher from the Chicago Housing Authority.
after,
I'm always worried about that Murphy's Law shit that anything could go wrong. If I lost my apartment, I'd be homeless overnight. I'm
so
scared
listen,
about that shit. Yes,
so,
I have
so
to live
listen,
on food stamps and
you're
poverty.
not going to have to, you're not going to
So
have to spend anything other than if,
I
I
would
mean,
like
I
to
don't
make
know if you
some
have to
money though.
travel to, well, let me see. What I'm saying is, what I'm going to offer you is
I just want to make some
whatever,
money. I ain't greedy about it. Just enough money so
we'll
that I
go
can have a house
50-50.
in a
We'll go
Hollywood Hills
50-50.
someday. What was that?
We'll go 50-50 after production cost is recouped.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
That's fine.
I would do that, but
I'm
you have
pretty
to make this.
open and
I am dead serious.
flexible,
I'm not even fucking with you a little bit.
even
I'm
if your
dead
words
serious
are
about
fucking
this.
hot.
No, I'm dead serious about this.
I was reading this magazine that's about Prince, and he had a relationship with Kim. I think it was Kim Basinger,
Oh yeah, he
and
did.
they did a
During
Batman
Batman.
movie. And I was reading in a magazine how the sound engineers came in and they found like syrup or some kind of jam all over the sound mixers because they fucked on it.
So basically, basically, Minnie, if you wanted to just get a 4 track and just fuck around, I'll put out anything you want on a cassette. We'll call it the first Mini. But if you want to do the studio thing and shit, I'll put it out on a vinyl.
I would love that, but I don't know how to do that shit on my own. I
And
really
we can do
don't.
that either way.
I want to
WG
work with some
Records.
people, and I want to get this done. Get me with some people, and I'll start writing. And
Well, I
I would
can't.
love
I'm
to
not
have,
there.
I want to
You
have
gotta
my own
find people.
material.
You gotta find people that'll come over and jam with you, so you can like work out some songs. You tell them, look, we're going to record with this guy. I'll tell you who it is after the thing. You know, you can research the guy. You go, look, we got a chance to
After
work with
the
this guy.
thing.
Let's do a fucking out. You know,
Is he
and you'll
watching
get
this?
50. We'll go 50-50, and you can pay those guys if you. That's your deal. You know what I mean? Like whatever. You know,
Well, someone's got to pay me
that's
before I
your
can
deal.
pay
You're
other
good.
people. Like that
Yeah, listen.
song, I'm
But you
paying
don't.
everyone's bills. I got a house in the hills by Glenn Campbell,
There's
the cowboy
definitely because
song,
being on an
like
independent
that.
label like that and showing that you can put an album out would definitely help you move a step closer to getting
It
a
would
major
shut a lot of
deal.
people up too. Yeah, a lot of people that think, oh, you're not original, you don't know shit. Well, there's reasons why I'm not putting, like I told you. I would love to do something original. Of course I would. What I'm doing now is showing people that I can sing a broad range of songs. I have fun doing it, and that's the number one thing. I have fun doing it. I've been doing it for 2 years, and I have not given up. I've had a YouTube channel for 2 years doing it. Yeah, I lost one channel, but I made another one and got 1,000 subs overnight. Um, I I work hard. I've been known to work very hard. My costumes, my lighting. Look at my beautiful lights here. My candles. I don't have those up right now, but you look my channel, Mini Manson on YouTube. Mini Manson Star is the actual tag. Is your producer guy? Is he kind of watching right now?
Oh no, he's not. Well, I don't actually know him, but I
Oh,
know for a fact I know he'll take any job.
he'll take anybody.
He'll take any job, and and I
Will he
know how
take
much
me on
he
the
charges.
sound mixer? Will he do it with me on the sound mixer?
Oh, I don't know. You're gonna have to have a band though, because this guy's like a real where they get in there and they play,
I might
and
get
you're
turned on in
singing,
there. Just a warning.
and we ain't got time to jack around for like a week on one song. You're gonna have to go bust out 10 songs. And I know a band that's done it. You know what I mean? I know this band
Well,
that's
you
done
have
it.
all the songs ready, and the band we would know the songs. I would know the lyrics, and we'd go just bust out 10 songs in the studio. Yes,
Let me ask you, Minnie, have you been following this trend of influencer boxing?
I don't know who that is.
Well, what they do is there's these people that will pay web streamers to box each other, and they have pay-per-view events. They're pretty lucrative. Like they might get 10 or 15,000 or something to fight each other.
Oh yeah, I don't
Would
want
you
to
be?
fight nobody
You
unless I
wouldn't
can hit
be
him with a baseball
interested.
bat.
You wouldn't be interested in fighting somebody in a boxing ring.
Oh hell no.
Are you scared of
Pugilism.
getting hurt?
Nah, that's not my thing.
You seem like
I'm
you
an
got a lot of
entertainer.
range.
I'm not a boxer.
I think you could beat some ass.
I need a boxer to be my bodyguard.
Okay. Well, let me see here. What about the?
I need the
What about?
guys from Annie, the musical Annie, the one that Albert Finney was in. I need the Asp and Punjab to be my bodyguards. I like how someone touched Annie's arm and he cracked him like that and he got knocked out. That kind of action gets me hot. Mini
um,
Manson likes instant results and instant action, and he likes people who are on the ball. I don't care if you use drugs and alcohol, just be responsible with it. Show up on time, be ready to work. That's all I care about. After we record the albums, we can party and fucking have an
so
orgy in the fucking like sound booth, and in the recording studio. I bet it gets really messy in there.
even like 10,000 wouldn't get you to box.
Well, who would I have to box? You? You can
No,
kick my ass, you're tall.
they would find us. I would say, let's say it's somebody like King Cobra. It'd probably be like that.
Okay, I'd kick the fucking shit out of that motherfucker. But what if
Oh,
I
really?
accidentally? Oh, well, what if I purposely kill him on accident? Would I go like to prison?
Well, if it's in the ring, it's sanctioned. I don't think so. If he dies, he
Okay,
dies.
so I could
Like
kill
in
him and I
Rocky
won't go to
Four.
prison? $10,000 to set it up. I'll fuck that motherfucker up.
You'll fight
I
King
like to
Cobra
fight, by the way.
JF.
I'll fight him. What was that?
You'll fight King Cobra JFS for 10 grand.
Fuck yeah. Paying men
Shit,
in
man, we're gonna get that
advance.
out there. Let's get this to King Cobra. This is a challenge. Let's get this to these influencer boxing guys.
How tall is King Cobra? Is he a real tall, big guy?
I don't
Because
think so. I don't really
I'll go
know. I
for
don't
his
think he's
balls and his kneecaps if he is, I don't care how tall he is. I just want to know.
bad. No, he's
Everybody has their weak
I don't
spot.
have any idea how tall he is, but I think I've seen him standing next to girls, and he's not that much taller. He's about their height.
And the girls actually weren't chained to the wall when he was standing next to them.
Oh no, he was taking shots out of their titties.
I remember when sometimes someone made a video of me doing my thing, and then they had him doing their thing. And oh, here, I gotta plug my phone in. I
Oh,
just
okay.
noticed that it's at 50%, and we don't want to lose the broadcast. Where's the fucking hole on there? I hope I don't if I accidentally go out of the video, I'll come back in. All right.
Yeah, we only got a few more questions left here.
Okay, it's great. I got it plugged in. Everything is fine.
All right, cool.
But yeah,
So you would take on King Cobra. See, I like King Cobra. I don't think he's a bad guy. I
you'd
think
have to
he's
put me
kind
up
of
in the
funny.
nicest hotel. Okay, well, you'd have to put me up in the nicest hotel in town. That's kind of what I require. Star treatment,
You'll do
Mini
it just
Manson,
for
like
a nice
star power,
hotel. You'll
and the
fight just
$10,000.
and the 10,000. Well, you can get a nice hotel for 10 G's.
If you pay me in advance, I can do it. Yeah, that's true.
We gotta find. I'm not one of these promoters, but we can find the guy. I think a
Oh,
Mini Manson King Cobra fight would be very lucrative.
but if you were like wanting me to kill him and shit, I wouldn't like exactly say it on like
These
here
are
because you'll
not
go to
battles to the
prison.
death. These are not battles. Like if you even got hit a little bit and rocked, they stop the fight. You know what I mean? They don't let somebody just wail on you till you die.
No, I wouldn't kill the person. I would
But
just like
what
I'd
I'm
get him on the
proposing
ground
is,
and
would you do a death match for 10 grand? Because you seem to think it might have been a death match. You'd still do a death match for 10 grand?
what's a death match? I've heard that phrase. What exactly
That's
is
when
that?
the loser dies, the winner lives.
Oh, like they're really gonna sanction something like that? That's bullshit. They will not.
There was an island supposedly
But
somewhere
I can't
where a bunch of
say.
rich people take people to fight
Oh,
for.
that's different. They
I
do
heard
that
that.
to it.
I
But the
heard
rich
about
have
that on the
rights.
streets.
The rich have a different set of laws than you and me. So just so you know, they are allowed to do that.
Let me get to the next question here.
I'm jealous by the way of that. Okay, go ahead.
Let me get to this next question here. The Bud Light controversy. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah,
What's your take on that?
I don't think they should put like somebody like that's photograph on the beer can because they're not Tom Brady and they're not like David Bowie. Like they're not that kind of famous. They're not like a rock star or an actor. They're just a transgender person. So I don't
Do
think
you
they should put the
even
picture on the beer can. But I have no problem with the person promoting it.
is he even a transgender person though? Is he? I don't
I
really
think so.
understand because he
I
goes
think
by
so. Yeah.
Dylan. He goes by Dylan. Isn't that guy's name? I guess that could be a
That's what I
girl's
don't
name too.
understand. A lot of men claim they're females and they get pissed at me for calling them sir, which I did by accident to someone. I actually did it to someone named Melton John, and he calls himself John. So I don't know him that well. And I went in his chat a month ago and I said, "Hello, sir," and he said, "Oh no, we're not going to have that," and he blocked me. I didn't call him sir on purpose. I thought he went by sir because he was calling himself John. So if he wants to be called ma'am, he better change his name to Julie or Justine.
Oh,
Get a
I see.
female name. Then I will know how to use the right label. And of course, now I know to use her and man for this particular person. So
I'm
if they
not
see that
trans,
I
but
didn't do it on purpose,
I'm
I
not
make
trans, but I
mistakes.
figure a dead name's the first step, right? I mean,
Yeah. I
I
never
don't know.
liked
It's
my
kind of
name to
weird.
begin with. I always wanted to change my name even before I knew that you could do it as a transgender, even before I knew you could be transgender. I always
Well,
wanted
I
to
didn't
have a
have a
cooler
problem.
name. But your name, the name you have when you grow up, that affects how people treat you. It affects how you feel. My name would have been something beautiful, like my sister's name. My sister's dead, so I can say her name. Her name was Rebecca Elizabeth. So I mean, that's a beautiful feminine name. So people immediately they were attracted to that. And plus, she was not an ugly kid like I was. And I had this clunky, ugly name, and it's a name from the Bible. Me and my brother and sister had Bible names. And my dad had to choose the most loseriest, weakest, most unlikable woman in the Holy Bible. Why the fuck you would choose the name he did? And I'll say the name, Naomi. Why would he choose that name instead of giving me Ruth or Elizabeth or,
Okay.
there's many beautiful female names in the Bible, real good leaders,
You look like
Esther,
a Lilith.
Lilith. That
Yes.
would have been a good name. Lilith Stern Cranen from
Yeah.
Frasier. Frasier.
Well, my take on the Bud Light controversy is I don't care what Bud Light wants to do and put that on there, but
Yeah, it
I
doesn't
feel
bother me or
like
nothing like that.
it's my thing with it was they did it for a Final Four promotion. And this Dylan Mulvaney's like, I don't even know what Final Four is. My
Like,
favorite team and your favorite team and stuff like that. It was really like, I just want to be like, fuck you, man. Like, why did you choose this guy who knows nothing about the Final Four to do
the
the sponsor?
final four.
Didn't
Da,
make a
da, da,
mockery.
the final countdown. Da, 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 da,
I thought that was a
da.
little disrespectful to the game and all that, you know.
I'm not really too much into sports or anything, It's just like
But
there.
they're doing
I
it
don't
for
hate
sports
it, but I'm
fans.
not
You know
into
what I
it.
mean?
What was that?
Non-sports fans would not do a Final Four promotion. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
they're trying to promote Final Four fans with this trans person that doesn't even know what the Final Four is and gladly
Would you
says
be
it.
pissed at me? I don't know what the final four is. Would you be pissed at me? Why don't you tell me what that is? Don't be
Oh, it's
mad.
the NCAA tournament. It comes out of
Okay.
Chicago, by the way. The NCAA is, I believe, or no, that's Big Ten, I think, headquartered
I mean,
out
I
of
don't say
Chicago.
this Big Ten is colleges. I always like want to know that.
Yeah, this is college
I like to
teams.
learn about the sports stuff because it will help me identify with people more. My
What do you
friend
think
Bob, he
about
taught me about baseball, and he used to love that game so
what do you
much.
think about trans in sports? Do you think like
I don't think a man that says that a woman should compete against actual natural born women, I don't believe in that because it's not fair.
yeah, it's kind of weird because you have two groups that have fought so hard to get their own recognition, you know?
If the person was born a transvestite, I mean, not correction. I mean, if they were born a hermaphrodite, then yeah, they should be able to compete if they can, prove it.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Unfortunately, they make you prove shit.
Yeah.
One time, this guy named T-Bob told me, "Prove you have a dick," and I said, "You put me on your show, and I'll prove it." And I showed him that I indeed. I said, "Is possession 9/10 of the law?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "Here's my dick."
That's a
So
is
yes, I
that an
do have a
actual
dick. So
plugin?
people quit asking.
Is that an actual plugin?
It's you put it. It's a little thing made in a 340. What is that? 3D printer. 40
Oh, is it
40
technically a
printer.
butt plug or do you stick that
It's
on?
not. No,
You
it's
use
it's
it
a
sticky,
little.
right?
You can put it up a cat's like a Wheezy's cat um forest. You can put this in his little asshole or up his little.
You put that
Well, he doesn't have
Wheezy's
a pussy if he's a male cat,
cat
so you can
stuff.
put it up his little peepee there. People think I want to actually fuck his cat. I'm just messing around.
Have you talked to Elisa lately or anybody from
No,
that?
I
No.
got banned from her like Discord, but I don't even go watch her videos anymore. Since she moved to Florida, she's become a drag. She's no
What did
longer
she
in
get banned
Hollywood.
for?
She betrayed Hollywood, which made her, and she left. She kept saying how much she hated it on her shows. When I was on the show, oh, I hate LA, I hate Hollywood. You know what? I love Hollywood and Los Angeles. So don't ruin it for me, bitch.
Let me ask you one final question here, and then we'll be done.
Okay.
So you consider yourself a Satanist, right? But I don't think you actually worship a beast called Satan, right? You're just sort of like anti-religion, maybe.
Mostly, yes. I'd like to believe, and I think there is a real Satan because there couldn't be a God without a Satan. There's got to always be like a yin and a yang, a conflict, you know.
Are you a
Well,
spiritual person?
no, I wouldn't say so.
You think when you die, you die?
I don't know what's going to happen when we die, honestly. I can't think one way or the other on that.
I'm
There's no
anti-religion
definitive
because
answer. But people have claimed that they were close to death and they saw angels, and they've described, and this is more than one person, you know, so little kids who don't know how to, I mean, yeah, they know how to lie and shit and make up stories, but a kid died once that said they saw God and they said they saw a purple sash and all this, and they made a movie about it even. I'm sorry, there's something in my eye. I'll sue.
yeah.
Okay, I'll
So yeah, I guess
sue.
my take on it is I'm pretty much anti-religion, but I'm spiritual. You know what I mean?
I'm anti-religion too.
But I do believe in a higher power. I don't necessarily believe in an
Yeah,
afterlife, but I do believe that we are not a random event, man. You know what I
that's true.
mean? There's
There is. I
something
believe
that
in a higher power. I believe there's a God, quote unquote, but not the God that the way they teach you in the religions on earth. I don't believe there's a person on earth who really knows what God is really like. But because of my father and the ministers and all the people in my life who have fashioned in my mind what God is supposed to be, I had a lot of hatred towards God, quote unquote God. But actual God, I still have to think about it. I'll be like, I'm sorry, God, I don't really know who you are, but I know you're not the piece of shit my father and all those Baptist ministers have cemented you into being. I mean, when I hear those little
my
peepee birds outside and I see all the trees and the sky, people, I don't believe people just evolved from nothing and all of a sudden we're super smart and everything, you know. So evolution, I really doubt. I mean, yeah, you could probably evolve to be a flipper, but I don't think people evolve into good. If anything, with evolution, it goes downhill. Look at how the humans are today based on how they were 100 years ago, how stupid people are today. If we're so smart, why did we create all this technology and television and fucking garbage? Some of the music they have today, I wouldn't call music. Why did we go downhill, and why is society breaking down? Why are people less trusting and more abusive to each other? People don't feel comfortable around each other anymore. There's no trust. Like in the 1970s, even as close back as the 70s, people could be comfortable around each other outside or wherever. We could go out and hang out. It's very rare today, and especially after COVID, where they force people to be even more paranoid. They're causing these things like the mask wearing and all the bullshit and 6 feet apart. They're creating a system where society is breaking down. So yeah, evolution's bullshit. If anything, people are devolving instead of evolving.
well, you've had a lot of health problems the last few years. You've had
Yeah,
close calls with death, but you're
it's
still
more
out
ways
here
than one.
preaching. Right? You're still out here preaching the satanic word. Let me
Yeah,
ask you, Minnie, straight up, do you fear hell?
well, I fear being burned to death for eternity. And I
Well, you're
think,
already dead.
what kind of fucking God would burn someone for eternity? I could see punishing someone and like if you killed someone, making that person who killed you, they would have to be your servant for eternity up in heaven or wherever. But to burn somebody, I don't really believe and buy that shit. I think that was created by the church to scare people, the common man, and even to scare rich people. I mean, even celebrities are buying that shit now. Kirk Cameron even got involved with that to trick and lie to people, tell them you're gonna burn in hell unless you do what God says and do what the church says, do what the priest and the minister says. They're just humans. They're not men of God.
Well, there you have it,
They
folks.
interpret the Bible, but they're not godly. A priest is not holy, and a minister is not a reverend. They're not revered. They shouldn't get those titles. They're human beings who sin like the rest of us and make mistakes like the rest of us. And if they can't admit it, they shouldn't be up on the pulpit. And yes, they should tax the church.
Well, Mini Manson, I want to thank you for coming back on Grady TV once again. I look forward to having you back possibly in maybe 3 or 4 more months.
Yes.
Is there anything you would like to cover before we say goodbye?
I think I've covered it all. Right now, I'm very calm and I'm very happy. My health has improved a lot. I'm still doing my YouTube channel, and I'm going out more in public lately. I've been doing a lot of karaoke, as you see in my karaoke playlist.
Yeah, I've seen those. I really enjoy them.
Excuse me.
I like seeing you out, and this is the kind of shit. Like, have you considered live streaming the karaoke? I think that would get a lot of views.
I would have to plug my phone in, and a lot of places don't have that. I mean, the one place, well, Sidekicks has that. I could plug my phone in there and live stream, but I'm afraid to live stream anymore because
You could
it's
get
got me.
like
I lost the channel because of that, and
we
I
could
wouldn't
get
be
like
able
one
to
of those
control it or look
tournaments.
at the. I wouldn't be able to control it or look at the comments while I was singing, and you just never know what somebody will do, and all of a sudden my channel's being terminated. So no, I'm not connecting it with my YouTube. But if somebody else wants to come there and live stream me, I have no problem with that. I would love it if somebody would come there and let me sing, let me do my thing. Let the other person have the camera. Let them be the cameraman. Let them do the live show. I would love that. And sooner or later, I have to have some kind of fans in Chicago, people I can trust. I don't like to announce in advance where I'm going because of all the trolls, all the things people have done to me in the past. Not lately, but the first year I was into this business, I had
Oh
people
yeah,
calling my dentist, calling my doctor, calling my dentist, telling him I was a racist and making all this shit up just to get me banned. And the dental office says, "Hey, we know who you are. We know that this because they follow me. The people, the professional people in my life actually follow me, and I already told them in advance, this is who I am. You might get phone calls, you might get people trolling you. That's just how it is in today's world because of technology. So they're all aware of it, you know. So that's why I don't announce in advance where I'm going. I don't know if I have enough Chicago fans paying attention who would show up, but I just don't want people calling in bomb threats and shit like that. You understand? So I don't tell people in advance. I'll say this is where I go, but I'm not going to tell you when or what day.
right.
It's
Yeah,
sad.
that
I can't tell anyone, so I have to go there. Sometimes performing in front of like two people.
yeah, for sure. People would start calling the place if they found out where it was at. You know what I
It
mean?
would hurt their business, and so I can't risk that. I'm surprised. In fact, I'm not surprised. When Marilyn Manson they announced he's coming to South Carolina or Florida, somewhere. They'd call in bomb threats to the venue. They'd make threats, all kinds of shit, and shut him down. Sometimes the sheriffs would be saying, "You're not performing here." They arrested him in, what was it, Jacksonville, and they beat him up in there
Yeah,
when he
it's
was
just
in
what
his
you have to
20s.
deal with being a
That
public
wouldn't happen to him
figure.
today, but back then he was kind of unknown. But what was that?
It's just what you have to deal with being a public figure. People get a lot of power from anonymity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they
All right. Well, thanks for joining me tonight, and I want to thank you again. And I'll see you in a few, 3 or 4 months.
I'll see you in Hollywood, and yeah, tell me about that record producer.
Yeah, I'll get with you after the Instagram uh, thing here. All right. Well, I'll let you go. Thanks for participating again. I'm going to put out 2 videos a day. It'll start tomorrow at 10 a.m. and then the
Mm,
next one will be at 6 p.m.
okay,
And we'll run them out. I'm predicting it'll probably be 15, 16 clips. So it might take a week for them all to
that's
play
fucking
out.
hot. I like that. I
I
like that
think
you
it'll be
released a
good.
whole bunch and then you did one big one. I like that.
Yeah, me too. I like it. That's the way you do. You get a lot of watch time hours. You get a lot of clicks, and people watch more of the interview too. When you
Uh
just
huh.
watch a lot of people don't want to sit down and watch an hour-long interview. You know
No,
what I
they
mean?
don't. They want 5 minute here, 5 minute there. That's why my videos are so short.
Yeah, and then they're evergreen too. Like that interview with you is evergreen. So let's say you become a big star, that thing's going to have 1 million views. You know what I mean? Because you're going to tell them all about your life, everything.
You're
So
pretty
it's a good thing
smart
to have out
because
there.
you you're taking advantage of this now. A lot of people they think I'm nothing. They just dismiss me. Oh, you're nothing. And those people they're going to be sorry that you never know is going to be famous. Someone you laugh at today could be famous. Like that guy in Key West who used to go and dive in the water for decades. That they'd laugh at him and say it was fucking crazy. And then he found all these doubloons and coins. And now he's like real famous in Key West. Boy, I wish I could remember his name, but they have a museum for Mel Fisher. They used to laugh at Mel Fisher. He was a diver, and he finally found the treasure, and they laughed at him for like 20, 30 years, and he says, "You'll see." And now, look, he's got his museum there and all the coins and everything, the doubloons from the pirate ships and all. I used to live
Yeah, I
in Key
bought.
West, so I know a
Yeah,
little
it's
bit
weird.
about that. What was that?
I bought some crypto coin last year for $200.
Yeah.
So I go to look at the price, and I see that supposedly it's worth over $500,000.
Can you take it out of the bank? Can you take a half a
I
million
can't.
dollars out of
I cannot. I don't know where to sell these things at, and they're being traded. I've seen them going up and down, and
I don't mess with that stuff. I don't understand it.
I don't even know how to sell these things, man. I
If
don't
I
know what
can't
to
take
do.
that money out and pay bills with it, then it doesn't mean nothing to me.
Right.
Oh yeah, my grant ran out, so I'm gonna have to start paying my fucking electric and gas bill next month
But
again.
if that really is a $500,000, we're gonna go on tour.
Really?
If that's a $500,000, the Grady George, you're gonna open, you're gonna be singing, and I'm gonna come out and do a little stand up act. And I don't even care if anybody's there because I got a $500,000 fucking dollars. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mini Manson is the sexiest, most
I'll get a
erotic,
little. I'd probably try
sensual,
to get a
haunting
little.
entertainer out there.
I'd probably try to get a little streamer tour going, and we'd have a little like vaudeville show.
Yes, I
You know,
love
we could
vaudeville.
like
I
we all
love
work together.
vaudeville.
We could get a nice little crowd there if we had like
Sammy Davis
55
Jr., I'm
minutes.
bringing vaudeville back.
Yeah,
Oh, fuck yeah.
but it probably it's too good to be true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They say they're worth $500,000. I can't find anywhere to sell them, so I don't know. I kind of think I'm fucked. But
I often wonder about
anyway,
all these rich people, like trust fund babies, and you just sit there doing nothing, playing on the internet all day. If I had their money, I would be fucking on tour. I would do everything I possibly could to perform in public. I'd pay to perform if I had to, just to get my name out there. I would do whatever it takes. And I'd go to school, and I'd be taking all kinds of classes. I am going back to the music school next month. I'm starting school. I get to take one class at a time under their scholarship. So it only cost me like $62 for a $300 class. So I'm going to be studying more advanced voice lessons and hopefully some songwriting after that.
cool. Well, I'll let you go. You seem like you're getting tired. I gotta go get something to
Yeah.
eat. I'm about to pass out.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
hungry too, and I have some
so
stuff I
like,
want to do.
yeah. Oh, actually, I'm not gonna put this in the recording anyway. The part where I'm gonna put the full interview is long gone. You know what I mean? We're just shooting the shit here. So, uh,
Well,
or
people will want to see this
I
part
might get
too, so you
some.
put the whole
I might
thing in
get
there.
some bonus. I might get some bonus. Well, I don't want to tell you this guy's name. I'll just send
Yeah.
it to you on Instagram, and you can look it up, check it
Yeah.
out. But
Don't say it in here. He might get embarrassed. We don't want to embarrass him. We want to turn him on.
yeah,
We want to turn on those
plus
sexy record producers and
people would
do
start
it in the
calling him
fucking
and shit.
studio. What was
Plus,
that?
people would start calling him and shit and saying you were,
They will.
all fucking lies and shit. So we can't let. I wouldn't tell anybody till you got it fucking in the can.
Yeah.
If
You're
you're
pretty
getting a band
smart.
together, you can talk about that, but don't talk about the recording or anything like that.
I'm not going to talk about nothing publicly. I know better than that. I ain't going to screw up any
We
opportunities.
talked about it during
Believe
the
me, I'm
interview.
learning.
We talked about. I'm going to air that part of the interview as the offer to you and all that. So, but that's all they need to
People
know.
laugh. Yeah, people laugh at me all the time on Discord. Oh, nobody hires you. You never get paid to do your shit. Yes, I do. I just don't fucking reveal who does it because that's private. So,
But yeah, so yeah, be on the lookout for. I'll message you after. I'll let you know the name, and then I'll send you the link tomorrow when the thing airs, and let you see it and all that.
I'll
So,
check it. Yeah, I'll check that out. I can't wait.
all right. Well, you have a good night.
Good night to you and to all my fans. Mini Manson loves you.
All right. Nighty night.
Good night.